right, so now what we're going to do is we are going to go through a larger employer. Note that you can't do the query plans right now. I got guidance that it'll be in November to be able to purchase query plans. So again, we do the search of FMCSA Clearinghouse. There's going to be a number of things down here that are not necessarily the one you want. It'll be the one that'll say clearinghouse.fmcsa.dot.gov. So we're going to click on that and go to register. And we're going to register up at the top right here. And first we have to go to the go-to-login.gov. And then Kurt, you're going to put in some information once we get there. Okay, so this basically is just making sure the right person and you are. And we don't want to go here to email and password. We want to go below to create an account. Okay, so we're going to enter in the email address. And then what's going to happen is we're going to pause this. It'll send an email to his email. We're going to pause it, and then we'll click on. And you need to do this all on the same computer because it's going to click you to a link that will then take you right into the website. So he's getting emails. So we're going to pause it real quickly. We will be right back once we're to the next screen. So, okay, so what we've actually done is we've opened up the email to take care of any proprietary information. So you're going to get an email like this. We're going to hit confirm email address, and it's going to zoom us out to a new tab, and it's going to be creating a strong password. So just put in your password, whatever you want to use. The continue will turn a different color when it's acceptable, usually when you get to a strong password. So you may have to be creative.
Yep.
Okay, and if it doesn't let you hit continue, let's see if it lets you. It says so. So it's not letting you hit continue, so you got to add more characters.
All right.
It says add another word or two. And once I think it goes to the green, now you can hit it. Okay, you got that written down? So we're going to hit continue. Now, the first authentication is going to be by phone. All right, so we've got that. It says you only need one authentication message, but then they want to set up two. So this is the first one. So you're going to continue. And again, we want to use a cell phone number because that way we'll get a code in a minute. So better than a phone call. Now, as an employer, you're going to be able to set up other administrators underneath this as well. They're going to have unique emails and unique cell phones also. But we're just setting up one person here. After that, once you're registered, you can go into the dashboard and be able to set up others. Okay, so, and we're going to want to get text message and send a code. So right now, there's a code being sent to Kurt's cell phone here. And once he gets the code, he's going to put it in there. And we're bypassing, we're not sure on the portal account, so same thing. We're going to be putting in no DOT number. But it is supposed to be a DOT number that you can use that has a PIN assigned to get into the portal. So we can either do a second phone number, or what I suggest, these are all other things that you have to set up with a security, is if you don't have any of the above, if you want that option, what it'll do, it's going to continue, it's going to have you print, these are going to be passcodes that are going to be given. They talk about it not being very safe. And what it does, this is going to be the passcode, so I'm going to download those so I can give them to him later and print them out. Save. Okay, well, okay, so now we're going to continue. All right, so now we've created the account. Now we can sign into the clearinghouse. We're going to hit continue. I'm recording again, right? Yeah, just making sure we're past the point of no return. Okay, so now you're going to select your role. So you're going to select as an employer and hit and then slide down and hit next. And it's a Mac, so I don't know if you're used to it. Okay, so this is where we're getting confusing about the portal account. If you don't have a portal account with a PIN where you upload your MIS, then just select no. And again, they're using this to be able to get you to try to get registered with the portal account. So it is a good idea in the future because you do have to upload your MIS reports that we give you at the end of the year. So you are the clearinghouse administrator. We're going to say you don't have a DOT number. We're going to say you'll obtain your DOT number later and proceed with registration. So here you're going to fill out all your contact info. And just hit the tab key if you want, or that way too. And then select the type, which will be cell or office. You have an option of using another one if you want. If not, we'll just got the email, got everything else, and you hit next. All right, there we are. Okay, so now it needs to put in the company information. And ideally, the way it would be in your, like on the FM motor carrier account. So it's probably like Rayleigh's Transportation or just, probably, I have you set up as Rayleigh's Transportation. So. I'm sure we can always go back and edit this later if we need to. And again, this is going to be a physical address. Need to get the zip. Okay, they're gonna, yeah, so they're gonna have you end up doing
down there on the bottom.
Yeah, so you can do city, and then they're gonna want the country because we do have our friends from the north and the south of us that are also participating in this. And then country will be USA. And then the zip. Okay, so now we are not going to select owner operator. That was what we did on another one for owner operator. So not an owner operator. And now they're going to want contact information. And is all this stuff optional? That's optional. So we just need a contact phone number. Okay, we got the cell. Right?
Office.
Office phone? Okay, good. Business. Okay. And now we're going to hit next. Okay, so this again is an option you can do later. We talked about this. If you want us to run your annual queries and all that, you're going to still be responsible for the $1.25. But then, and we're looking at about $10 to do the annual query because we're getting some special programming done. But it's a pretty easy process for you to do too. You can just download Excel spreadsheet. And I think you can always do that as an option later too if you want. So we're not going to do it right now, but the way you would do it if you wanted to, just start typing in Collection Plus and hit search, and you'll see what pop up here. Okay, but we are not going to do that. So we're going to go back here, and we don't want it. So we're going to hit trash, and we're going to skip that. I'm sure you can go back in and do it if you decide you want to do it later. Wait, I went the wrong way, didn't I? Next. And next. Okay, so there's a bunch of terms and conditions. You agreed all that? Yeah. What could be wrong? It's the federal government, right? Okay, so it's complete. Now they've taken the first step. There's nothing else you can do right now other than review your dashboard. Now, you will not be entering in drivers. As the owner-operator, if you looked at that one, you'll see because they're the employer and the employee, they also entered in the donors, or their drivers. So this is an example now where you can invite an assistant. You can go back and designate a cTPA. You can enter the profile. There's a Clearinghouse brochures for employers. I think there's something for employees too. Encourage your drivers to register individually. There's a driver job aid for them to be able to register. And again, you don't have to register if they're you have to have somebody registered if you're hiring them. If they're a current employee, they just need to have a consent form that I gave you on a template before. There's also, if you want to do it yourself, there's a nice batch upload. You can take and look and fill it out yourself and then be able to submit it. And I think that covers everything there. So we are going to end this session and then we're going to start one on a driver.